Limited dual agency can be tricky. In this presentation, we will address some common situations encountered by a licensee when the brokerage represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
Hi. Good to see you. All right, let's go look around.
Let's do it.
Okay. Come on in. And this is the dining room. So, you see the kitchen and nice. Yeah.
A lot of natural light.
Absolutely. Nice island.
Like the windows.
Oh yeah, a lot of great light coming in. A good space for even gathering, family gatherings and stuff. Okay, would you all like to take a look outside?
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
I like it.
Okay, so this is the wonderful outdoor space.
Yeah.
I think it's so fantastic for entertaining. Great tree.
It's a great tree.
Isn't that great? And
space for here.
oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so much you could do with this space.
Good. I like it. I like over there too.
So what do you think?
I think we'd like to try buying this one.
Oh, great. Well, then we can just head back to the office and I'll write it up.
Sweet.
Sounds great.
Okay? Great, come on. Okay, do you remember this blue agency brochure?
Yes, we read it.
Wonderful. Now it's time to put that information to use. First, we need to discuss that I have the property listed. That means I represent the sellers right now.
Oh, wait, does that mean you can't help us buy the house?
Oh, no, not at all. The sellers gave me written permission so that I could represent both you and them in what the law calls limited dual agency. Or if you prefer, you can continue our working relationship as my customers.
If we're still your customers, can you still help us?
Yes, I am already the seller's agent, so I do owe them certain additional duties, but you have a choice to make. Would you want me to work with you on the same level as the sellers? Or if you would prefer, we can just keep our working relationship more casual.
Can you give us some examples?
Oh, sure. If you're my customers, then I will present your offer and then I'll handle all the details of getting the transaction closed. But I'm not required to keep your information confidential.
So if you became our agent, would you have to keep our information confidential then?
Yes, I would owe you the same duties as the sellers.
Sounds like a better way to go. What would that cost us?
No, the agreement that I have with the sellers is that they would pay me. And if you buy this house, then I would collect from them. Now, if you become my clients and this transaction doesn't work out, then I would be able to find you other properties.
So as far as the seller's secrets go, can you tell us if there's termites or if the house has radon gas?
Well, agency law does not consider that to be confidential, so by law I'm required to disclose anything like that if I know about it.
What do you mean if you know?
Well, I'm a real estate agent and not an inspector, and so an inspector could go in and find something that the sellers are not aware of. Now, you have the right to ask to have an inspection done by an expert, and we can put that condition in your offer.
It's a lot to keep track of.
That's why we need an agent. Do we need to sign anything?
I like electronic documents. We can fill them out together and I'll email you the copies. This document is called Buyer's Representation Agreement. It establishes my agency duties to you as my clients, and you'll authorize the limited dual agency as the sellers did.
The difference between a client and a customer is addressed in the agency disclosure brochure all licensees are required to provide to consumers. As the agent for a buyer or seller, a licensee owes additional duties to promote the best interests of the client and maintain confidential client information.
Okay, well, that was the agency agreement. Now I'm going to get started on the purchase and sale agreement. How much would you like to offer?
What do you suggest?
Oh, well, that's something you have to decide. I can tell you that based on comparable sales in the area, that the property is listed at market value.
Well, now that you're our agent, we want you to help us to get a good deal.
Well, the sellers want me to help them to get the best price too. So we just need to find the right price that you both will feel good about the transaction.
Well, then maybe we can find another house so we can get a better deal.
There is a chance of that, but it won't be this house. I mean, it'll have different features, landscaping, views, location.
Yeah, but I really want this house.
Okay. Well, the sellers are asking $235,000. How much are you willing to pay?
Do you think the sellers would take 220?
I'm not sure, but in any case, I have to keep the seller's information confidential. My job is to present all offers, no matter what. So it really will be up to both of you to make that decision. You choose the best offer, and the sellers will decide if they want to accept it.
Let's offer 225, because I really don't want to lose this house.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's write it up.
Okay, great. When we're finished, I will notify the sellers and get this offer over to them.
Limited dual agency can be tricky. It's hard to have certain conversations and keep confidential information when you want to help both parties reach an agreement. It's also important to remember that these client duties apply to all agents in the brokerage.
Well, as I told you on the phone, we have an offer. So I have a copy for each of you, and that way you can follow along as I point out the main points in the contract.
Ooh, wait a minute. This is written for only $225. That's $10,000 less than our price.
Well, is that even fair? You told us our house was worth $235,000.
Well, that's right. I mean, we don't want to leave any money on the table.
Okay. I believe that your house is worth what we're asking, but let's discuss your situation. You told me that you wanted to sell quickly so that you could move in with your daughter and help her with her twins. Has anything changed with that?
Well, no, and our expenses will be less after we move into our guest house, but we don't want to give our house away. Did you tell the buyers why we're selling?
No. Remember discussing limited dual agency? I'm required to keep your motivation for selling confidential, unless you authorize me to tell them. I mean, they made this decision based on their own circumstances.
So they can afford our asking price.
Well, I don't know, but even if I did, I couldn't tell you that. That's how limited dual agency works. And even if a buyer can pay more, there's no guarantee that they will.
Well, I understand that. If I decided on a price, I wouldn't want to pay a penny more.
You didn't want to pay a penny for anything.
Look, yeah, we really want to move by winter. What do you recommend?
All of the decisions are yours to make. If you accept this offer, you know exactly what to expect. It's a clean offer, and you can start making plans. But if you reject it, a better offer could come in next week, or we may not get another offer at all.
And if we do, there's no guarantee that it would be better.
And that's true too. I never recommend rejecting an offer outright without at least trying to negotiate with the buyers. These people are at the table, so I think we should give them a chance.
Are you telling us to make a counteroffer?
That's up to you, but it seems like a fair idea. Many times buyers will try to meet the sellers part way. The question is if you are willing to meet them part way.
Okay, so should we split the difference and offer $230?
Write it up for $231. That's the principle of the thing. I mean, this is a good house. The kids grew up here.
Okay. Well, let's go over the terms. And just in case you want to address any other things in the counter, most transactions have a contingency about inspections, and this one is no different.
What's that mean?
It means your buyer's asked to have the house inspected, and they want it inspected by experts. And if the inspectors find something, there may be some further negotiations.
Well, what could they possibly find?
You know, it's no telling. Many homes pass inspections without any problems, but sometimes the inspector finds something that the sellers weren't aware of.
I'd probably do my own inspection.
These people prefer to have experts, and it'll be at their expense. Just so you know, it's rare these days for there not to be an inspection. If you were to get other offers, they would probably want the same as well.
It looks like we're gonna get inspected no matter what.
Yeah.
At least we won't have to pay for it. Hello,
Hi, Keith. It's Valerie.
it's Valerie.
Oh,
Good news. The buyers, they accepted your counteroffer. Okay, so I'll bring over the signed copies. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, when can we sign the papers and get our money?
Well, the contract specifies closing no later than 30 days from today.
oh, that's wonderful. We can get moved in time for the twins' first birthday.
Well, I'll stay on top of the details so you'll be able to get to that party.
All right, Valerie, can you now tell us whether or not the buyers would have paid our full price?
Oh no, I still can't tell you anything confidential even after the closing.
All right.
Well, congratulations and you all take care. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
You know, I don't want a house with a bad roof.
Well, the inspector noted in his report there are a few missing shingles.
I still really like the house, but I don't want to buy a problem like that. I mean, can we get a guarantee that the roof won't leak later?
Eventually, you know, roofs need to be repaired or replaced. So your roof, no matter what house you buy, will need that.
Well, if we decide to move forward, what's our next step?
Well, the sellers haven't seen the inspection report yet, so we could write up a contract addendum saying that we would like to have the roof repaired.
So do we ask for a whole new roof or just for the spot to be repaired?
What do you think is fair?
Well, I think this is an agency question here, and my obligation is to represent both of you equally. What would you consider a reasonable solution?
So the roof doesn't leak yet.
The inspector said no.
Okay, well, at a minimum, they ought to replace the shingles in the bad area and then maybe guarantee that work for a year.
Okay, well, then we'll just write it up and see what they say, and I will present it this evening.
That's great.
Okay. We received the home inspection, and there was one issue. You have some roof damage on the northeast corner, and the buyers are asking for you to repair it and to guarantee the work for 1 year.
I can fix that myself. Won't cost us anything.
I'm sure you could, but we are not driving back across 3 states to fix something if it breaks. I think we should hire a local roofing contractor who can guarantee the work.
Yes, dear.
Well, this is an addendum that the buyers had me prepare to address the roof repair, and you can read it over first, and if it's okay, then just sign at the bottom.
Valerie asked appropriate questions and relayed the answers she received. She let the buyers and sellers make all the decisions, and she did not advocate for one client over the other. Valerie successfully walked the tightrope of limited dual agency.